What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at South by Southwest 2024. This is our Indie TV Showcase interview right now. I want to make sure I get all the titles right here. Penelope, of course, which we covered at Sundance and we already love. Ryley Walker and Friends, The Broadcast, and The Long, Long Night. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, Mel and Mark, you're going to get my first question just broadly about making independent television, because I want our viewers to understand a little better what the difference is between making an indie film versus indie TV. So what is something about producing an indie TV series that's unique to that format?
Yeah, I mean, independent film's been around for a long time. We know why it's here. The system doesn't support some of those underrepresented voices or those more electric pieces of art that may not be so obviously commercial, so you go and make them independently. That is the same concept we're trying to bring to television, but I think now we find it more important than ever because, we went into the boom and the bust of peak TV, right? Like 5 years ago, it was like, oh my God, all these incredible shows are being made, and now it's all shrinking up. Right. And so whereas Mel and I and Jay, we could walk into a room 5 years ago and pretty much sell a show based upon a napkin, like everyone now is feeling this pullback, and this fear-based mentality of unless it's Game of Thrones, we can't make it. And that happened in the 90s in film, and that's where this beautiful system of independent film came up. And it's a whole ecosystem of like Sundance premiering the films, some of the bigger distributors buying them. If they didn't buy them, new companies sprung up to buy them. And we want that to happen for television because we don't want to see these unique stories die. Now, that ecosystem is not here yet. So Mel and I are sort of sticking our necks out a little bit and just being like, okay, well, I love John Cassavetes. He's one of my heroes. He made his money as an actor, and then he went and blew it on stuff. So I'm on the morning show. Yay. And I get these paychecks. So Barrett's one of my...
brings them to me.
Yes. And I'm like, come on, let's go. Barrett's one of my oldest friends, and he's like someone I wanted to support for years, like one of the most genius playwrights that no one has heard of. And so we made a micro-budget project together, and I came across Nat and Coco just by watching Nat's one-person show, and I messaged her on Twitter, and I was like, can you come up with a TV show where we can make like 6 episodes, and I'm not gonna be able to give you a lot of money, and you have to work for free, but in success, you get to do whatever you want creatively, and when we sell it, like, you're gonna get a whirlwind. So let's try and do that, and that's what Penelope came from, which you saw, and Ryley Walker and Friends is a documentary that I also directed in that vein. So it's kind of like a little dangerous because it's a lot more expensive to make independent television than independent film. And we're not just making pilots, we're making whole seasons. So we're a little nervous.
And you're putting trust into like some randoms that you like just watch their, one person show and you're like, I think this girl could.
Yeah, but we gave you less money.
I could tell.
Just to follow up on the Penelope Sundance experience, and I know this is still evolving and ongoing, but what were some takeaways from premiering it there, like especially in terms of, I guess, like how the industry as a business responded to it?
Such a good question.
I mean, I think we went in not knowing. We rarely go to Sundance without a movie. I mean, going with a TV show and a pilot only, we were like, let's see how this goes. And, it was an amazing response. And there's been so much interest and love for it already. And all we put out there was the pilot. And so it I don't know, it exceeded, I think, our hopes and dreams.
Look, you can cut this out if you don't like this stuff, but like just to get into the weeds, it's super fascinating if you like weeds at Collider.
I like weeds.
Because like the business of selling a TV show is so different than selling an independently made film, because the television show could have multiple seasons. So there are buyers that we're talking to where they're like, well, we might want to pay you this amount just to buy the first season, but like we don't know how it's going to go. So we don't want to like put down any money for the second season. But then there are other buyers that are like, you know what, we're not exactly sure how it's going to go, so we want to give you a little less, but maybe we'll commit to a second season for you. So there are all these other variables about it, and we kind of feel like we're making up a new system as we go. Even our agents were like, well, how should this work? And they're like, I don't know, you told us to do, like, so it feels like Sundance in 1989 when no one knew what to do, and we're all just working it out right now.
You guys are pioneering like a new form for television and a new space for artists to make stuff that they're actually interested in making, instead of like having these like stupid executives like piss all over your ideas all the time, and like you know, like try to act like, you know, they're experts in something that you've been grinding at for years and years and years. And so to give artists the freedom and the space to make something that they actually want to make, no matter how stupid it is or like interesting, or good, it is really admirable and like brave. And it takes like a special kind of team and spirit to be able to do something like that.
That's really sweet. But you know, you're being very modest, and like your show is great, but also like they sell, I'm just gonna like be candid, like they sell TV show pitches and pilots all the time, you know, so like, and they make good money doing that, and then the studios develop them, and then they don't make them, or even if they get a chance to make a pilot, it doesn't look like the thing they wanted to make. So it took these guys also being willing to be like, all right, we're basically gonna work for nothing in order to just guarantee we can creatively do what we want to do. So it's not just us being like, we'll save you with the money. Like, it's a big time two-way street of like, you got to come to us and be willing to do all of that. So we get, you know, as much or more than what we're giving in this scenario.
I love that so much. And like that, I feel like that's a great broad view. Natalie, Courtney, and Barret, to get like a little more specific about that, can you each pinpoint something Mark and Mel did for you as producers that helped you exceed your own expectations for yourselves creatively on your shows?
That's why we're so great, guys. Go ahead.
I mean,
just start laying it on.
Yes, and it's important.
I mean, truly, it's just such a luxury to be able to make something so fast, because we probably pitched the idea in April, started writing it in May, and started shooting it in October or something.
Yeah.
So we could just follow our impulses completely. And as an artist, like, you don't get to do that in television. But this, we were just like, go, 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 go. And the momentum was amazing. And
to have somebody like mentor you through the process as like first time series creators, and just like totally embrace your creativity, and just, you know, tell us that you believe in us, you know?
yeah, just to get the yeses all the way through was
Green lights. Somebody in Texas has once said that, like green light, like famous Texas guy.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
What a reference.
Yeah, well, I thought I should reference that since we're in Texas. Yeah, green light. We got the green lights. Thank you.
Barret, how about for you?
Well, yeah, I think I'm just listening to I just love being around smart people, all of y'all, and what you see with Mark and Mel is a lot how their leadership style is. I even sitting here, I'm like, you're telling them everything. Like, they're being so honest, as opposed to like, well, I'm going to show you the thing that to show us the brand of Duplass Brothers. Like, their candidness and their honesty and their transparency is stunning to me at this level that they operate on. And that is what I found in the partnership. And the transparency also went to when I couldn't have more. So I actually heard some no's. So when part wasn't working, I was like, well, maybe if I had another blah, blah, blah dollars, like, no, that's what you have to work with. This is what you have to work with. So I actually got some really healthy no's too.
Creative obstructions.
Yeah, and they were like really valuable to me. But my overall answer to your question is, I think in this model, because it's staying smaller, these two producers are able to let the artists be what they are, as opposed to trying to make them into something that is a little different. So I'm a playwright for 25 years, and as opposed to them really trying to hog tie me into being a television writer, they're like, no, we want you to write long scenes. We want to do 15-minute takes. We want to rehearse this like a play, which the actors did, you know. We want one setting like a play. Like, we're hiring you, Barret, to be you, as opposed, because we have access to those other people. And I found that a stunning moving thing. So that was my great experience on the other side of that.
I want to go back to the idea of hearing no's, but more specifically, the idea of making a lot with a little, because I know this is its own unique model, but I feel like there's so many productions out there, whether it's a film or a show, that, like, to be frank, throw money at things or fancy tools at things when you don't really need that. So can you give me an example of a time maybe when you heard a no or had less than you thought you would need, but it wound up making it better?
Well, maybe this isn't a good example because it turned into a yes, but initially we got a no on a dog. Our only other cast member in the show, the only other series regular, is a real dog. And Mark was like, can it be a puppet? Can it be a robot dog?
You guys are theater people. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, that was totally fair.
Dog?
That was totally fair. Yeah, but we held fast to the dog, and them giving us the space to hold fast and to like stick to our guns, like speaks volumes about like how they are so supportive. But they do like also give you like really healthy no's too, and like, are very collaborative to work with. And
yeah, I mean, I think like we make our own one-person shows, so we're used to doing everything, and that for me was really fun. Like we did our own hair and makeup.
Yeah,
we built a lot of
my hair every morning. We have these like long braids, and I couldn't reach mine. And anyway, she's great at braiding.
So it was a lot of a great braider. It was a lot of work, but we got to really be hands-on in every aspect of it.
It's cool to make a TV show in the same way that we make our live clown shows, like in a very DIY sort of way. And I think that's what makes the show really special.
And there's something too, like, if someone was going to make their show at a studio, it's like, okay, you can write this and you can star in it, but we're going to bring in one of our ace directors to do that. And we couldn't afford that. So it was just like, go, you guys direct it. And by doing that, like, we not only get, the most pure vision, I think, of what they want to do, but there's also something too, like, well, what is the value of the show in the long run, right? Like, hopefully, like, there's a wonderful big sale or a new company comes up and buys it and makes it their big show to start their, brand. But even if it doesn't make its money back, even if we just made something really, really cool that found its way out in the world in some alternate way, and then these guys have their first directing credits too, and then you can parlay that into other stuff. Like,
not in a million
cool.
years would somebody let you direct your own TV show, and they let us cut our teeth, like getting to make this weird, beautiful piece
With a very good dog.
with actually an excellent dog that we got so lucky. Our
compromise.
friend like trains dogs for her hobby, so it's just like our friend's dog, not like it's not a movie
we'll
dog.
shoot with the dog,
Yeah,
but we have to kill it after the show.
yeah.
And-
R.I.P.
That is
Shark.
not true at
Actually,
all. We love PETA.
Shark is dead. R.I.P. But that wasn't anybody's doing here, and we miss him. And she's training another dog actually. So for second season, we still have like a very viable option. It's like same breed. And, yeah. Right? I love you, Shark.
pour one out for Shark.
Barret, how about for you? A time when a no or less produced something more, if that makes sense.
So much. Well, the biggest thing for me is, I'm a big believer in the experience being the experience. It's not like I'm making this movie so I can release it, so I can, like, let's make this thing the thing. Like, this interview is the thing. This is exhilarating. And Mark and Mel pushed me in that, because when I wanted a producer, I'm like, well, can't you give me like a producer from Cyrus, or like someone who knows how to do this, and I can just be wide-eyed and they can do everything? And they're like, no, you get a producer. So I got my sister, Rory Schmidt, to come in. She'd only produced a short before, and she came in and produced a whole season of television. I got to be with my sister, who I love so much, and then she got to cut her teeth and rise to the occasion. And that no gave me this like incredible experience with my sister. And so that was a no that I wouldn't. My fear would have said, I need someone there to who's got all this experience, bring me. And that was a big deal for me. And a fun one was, I also thought I needed a big fancy production designer, and that wasn't this palette I was handed. And there's one episode in a later scene where someone tries to hang themselves from a bathroom, but the whole ceiling of the bathroom has to collapse. And I didn't have any money to do that, so Barret had to figure out a way to build that fake ceiling, and I did. And I got to the set at 4 a.m, and I'm like, I can do this. And I built it, but the thing about building it when you're the director and you don't know how is you only get to do it once. Because I didn't have any backup ceiling. I could build it once. I'm pretty sure it will collapse, but I can't test it. And it was a thrilling moment. I won't tell you if it works or not. You'll have to watch episode 5. But it was a thrilling moment for me and Mark, who were both in the scene. We know that Barret built this thing. It either is going to fall on us and kill us or not fall at all. But either or fall and not look that good and we can't reshoot it, or it's going to be awesome. It's one of those 4. And it makes the moment that much more thrilling and alive. And like, that's why we're here, to be thrilled and alive, right?
I love hearing all this so much. I could talk about these shows all day long. I have to let you go in a moment. And I want to end with a supercut question that we've been asking in every interview. So it bums me out that it feels like a lot of this industry is kind of doom and gloom right now. So in an effort to shine a spotlight on the good out there, can you each tell me a specific film or show you've seen recently that gives you hope for the future of Hollywood?
Oh God, I really liked The Curse.
Yeah.
Poor Things.
Well,
I mean,
I'm here for Emma Stone love.
Poor Things.
And Anatomy of a Fall, is that even Hollywood? Because it's not America.
Yeah, it's not America.
Okay.
Okay, let me come back to me.
It could be Hollywood because they follow what's working, and if they look at that model and they say this got nominated and it made money, we might do more of these things.
Okay, Anatomy of a Fall.
I'll take it.
Well, I mean, it is like Oscars day, right? So, I mean, I wish I could say something a little more obscure, but Past Lives moved me so much, and it was such a gentle human story that I was like, well, if this is doing really well, then we can make these gentle little stories, and it makes me feel very excited.
I feel like a lot of the answers to this question are helping me like reshape my last minute Oscar predictions based on what's touched the most. Hearing Anatomy of a Fall and Past Lives a lot.
Yeah, Past Lives was the movie of the year for me for a lot of those same reasons. And you know, I love small movies with feelings and faces in them, and I'm glad that one worked. Yeah.
What a good way to describe it, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to say congratulations on all the shows. Thank you for your time. Make more.
Okay.
Make more.
Thank you.
Fight for this model
Okay, here
and
we
make
go.
it
Here we
happen.
go.
Thank you so much.